Hello, Virgo. Welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Being Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a bonus reading for Virgos because you continue to have some of the highest viewership on these readings, so I'm going to continue to send you out more readings. All right, this is a general reading. Thank you. So take what resonates and leave the rest. What's hidden from Virgo? It's a lot. Can we synthesize that down? What's hidden from Virgo? Perfect. Thank you. Outcome and advice. Thank you. All right, Virgo. The overall energy of today's reading is the King of Cups. It was kind of coming out a bit on the side, like maybe a challenge. Emotional stability. This is someone who understands themselves, has met themselves in deep and profound ways, and can hold space for their own emotions and other people's emotions as well. Very steady. Emotional steadfastness. All right. Why is the King of Cups in the overall energy? Wow, Empress popping up. What does Virgo need to know about this King of Cups? Mastery of Cups. The card in this card deck is literally called the Mastery of Cups. Feels like who I'm talking to, you are mastering your emotions. Eight of Cups reversed. Star card, Seven of Wands. You're walking away from something that was disappointing. Walking away, something that wasn't completely fulfilling. It feels like it had a lot to offer. 8 cups worth, but it wasn't the whole shebang. It wasn't the whole 10 of cups. And so there's a bit of disappointment, it looks like, as you walk away from whatever this is. And Star card, it feels like there's healing happening, rebalancing. Star card, it also feels like you're leaving something that was disappointing and going towards your North Star, your North Node. That one big dream that you have. Feels like you're becoming the person who can realize that dream, whatever your dream is, that one big dream that you have, North Star. And it feels like there's this balancing that's happening. So you can become your most authentic self. And then Seven of Wands is, there's some perfection energy coming out here, a need to be completely ready. But the Seven of Wands, this person rushed to defend their position. They might not feel ready, but you are. You're ready for this. There's this emotional balance. It feels like since that King of Cups kind of came out a little in the challenge position, maybe you are mastering your emotions for some of you at this time, balancing them out after leaving something behind. It feels like you're getting ready for something, and you're more than ready for whatever this is. Anything else Virgo needs to know about what's coming next? Why the Seven of Wands is here? Boy, Moon, Hierophant reversed. Now we've got 3 major arcana. Moon card hidden, delusions, fantasy, something that's very dreamy, confusing. You don't know if it's real or it's not. Around a broken contract. Why is the Hierophant reversed here? Is there a broken contract that Virgo's working through, healing from, walking away from? Someone's walking away, and there's a rebalancing. Feels like rebalancing, recalibrating, focusing on your North Star. You're protected in all this moon energy. But there's some type of broken contract. A military reversed. It feels like there's not a strategy. Military, as I'm perceiving it, there's a format, there's a hierarchy, there's things work. I hear military people maybe laughing at my perception of military working like a well-oiled machine. And something wasn't working. There's a lack of strategy, lack of planning. It didn't work. A lack of structure. Something didn't work. And it feels like it might be a bit disappointing, but walking away. Yeah, I think there's the grief and sorrow card fell right on top of the star card. I think it is disappointing that something didn't work out. Ooh, a lot of money. Potential to make a lot of money. But you know, it didn't work out as planned. Tell me about this lot of money. What does Virgo need to know about lots of money? It feels like something didn't work out, but there's something else. Okay. 3 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles in reverse. 8 of Pentacles upright is just putting the work in, getting to work. Just labor and working on the same thing. Working. And I'm getting with the military reverse and 8 of Pentacles reverse that there's no strategy, there's no work getting done. It feels like it might be something fun with all this moon and 3 of Cups, like celebration, collaboration, but nothing's getting done. There's a potential for a lot of money, but nothing's getting done. The work isn't getting done. All right, in what's hidden, Virgo, we have, the Magician and the Fool card reversed. That's 0 and 1 in the major arcana. And we've also got 3 other major arcanas. Feels like you're learning something. Figuring out who and what works. Balancing things out, healing, recalibrating. With the Magician here, that's conscious manifesting. Oh, I love how they're showing this. They've got, in the Magician card, they've got the brain and the heart and the DNA that connects the two. And then there's the finger pointing up as above, finger pointing down as below. Easy for me to say. So it looks like in what's hidden, you're consciously manifesting, using both your upper chakras and your heart chakra to bring what you prefer into this reality. What does Virgo need to know about this conscious manifesting? Ooh, Death card reverse, Strength card reverse. Yet again, more major arcana. There's a cycle you've been repeating that's been blocking your conscious manifesting. Feels like you might be manifesting from your insecurities. Strength reversed. Have you been co-creating with fear and worry and not co-creating with what you prefer? Have you been creating repetitive cycles. Tell me more about what's hidden from Virgo. Two of Cups. Are you trying to manifest a partnership, a romantic partnership? Okay. Ten of Wands. There's a burden. It feels like there's a need to release burdens, to end a cycle. It feels like this person's burdened, carrying 10 wands. There's something here about wanting partnership, wanting to consciously manifest a partner. And it feels like that might be what you're focused on consciously, wanting to manifest a partnership. But what I'm seeing is this repeating cycles, repeating the same relationship, different person. And it's weighing you down. It's exhausting you. What does it feels like you're repeating cycles. There's something about wanting to create a partnership, but it feels like you've got that same picture, and so you just are I've already said that. Recreating the same partnership, just different person, same energy. Oh, King of Cups, which is in the overall energy, Two of Pentacles in reverse. Are you maturing and making a different choice in what's hidden? It feels like there's a potential here to make a different choice, to manifest from your King of Cups energy, an emotional maturity and stability. So what would be helpful for Virgo to know? Okay, so I'm getting a very strong message here of repeating cycles, of lack of expansion. Fool card reversed twice in what's hidden. Fool reversed twice in what's hidden. Repeating cycles. Four of Cups reversed. Someone else comes in. It's like, I'll give this another try, but there's the same energy. With Wheel of Fortune reversed, there's some lesson here to learn. So for emotional growth, so looking at this more with a romantic lens, the overall energy, it feels like you might have just, or you're walking away from another relationship that's very similar, has similar notes, energetic frequencies as past relationships that didn't work. You're healing and rebalancing your energies, creating stronger boundaries. There's been something that's been hidden here. And it feels like you're getting closer to figuring out what that is, why you keep attracting the same type of person. That's creating a lot of grief and sorrow in your energy. It feels like it's someone, it starts really good and feels wonderful and celebration, but then they don't put in the work. They just don't put in the work, aren't willing, aren't able, don't understand. So tell me about this repeating cycles with someone who doesn't put in the work. What does Virgo need to know about that message? Page of Pentacles. There's a need to recalibrate, see things differently, imagine things differently. This is my card for neuroplasticity. Reworking something, reworking how you how you relate to others, so you're not just attracting the same energy, the same person, different. Yeah. There's, oh, okay. Queen of Cups. There's something about, there's King of Cups has come up twice, both in the overall energy and in what's hidden. Feels like your heart healing. You're getting very clear about who you are and what you prefer. Very clear in your emotions, emotional maturity in your masculine and feminine energies. It feels like you're stepping into the most authentic version of yourself. I'm not getting any closer. Let's see in the outcome and advice if we can get some clarity. In the outcome and advice, we have the Death card and Ten of Cups. Again, another major arcana. Death card, scorpionic energy, transformation. Something is ending. The Ten of Cups, that could be like a fantasy picture that you have of a happily ever after. There we go. Oh my gosh. That's okay. So what I'm perceiving is that you have a picture, a fantasy that's a fantasy. It's not reality. And it looks like you project that fantasy onto other potential partners. And so it doesn't work because you're projecting a fantasy of what you want out of a relationship from that person. And with all the major arcana, it feels like this is a important lesson, not just like a weekly something going on, but something important to you, Virgo, and your major chakras, belief systems. And it looks like you're transforming that fantasy, recognizing that it's not reality and that there's a need to go back to the drawing board and reimagine partnerships. Not some fantasy. With the Moon card coming out, now that makes sense a lot more as well. Project kind of a fantasy, a delusion that you're projecting, and kind of, I'm seeing relationships are about this feeling place and this fantasy and this, it's a feeling. It feels dreamy. It feels good, but it's not reality. And it looks like you're letting that, the fantasy aspect go. When I'm saying fantasy, I'm saying not really relating to the other person coming in, but they become an object that you project your unmet needs and your fantasy, romantic fantasies onto. Does that make sense? And it feels like what I'm perceiving is there's a need to heal that, to get to know the person instead of projecting your unmet needs and wants and your fantasy onto someone. You're not really connecting with them. You're connecting to a fantasy. You've got an idea that you want to bring into this reality, but there's no real way to pull it into the reality. other than just project an idealized, dreamy onto someone else. And so you're not really connecting with that other person. You're idealizing and yeah, you're connecting with a fantasy. Okay. It looks like there's some adjustment as you let this way of relating to others go. It helps you let your guard down too, believe it or not. Or there's a need to not be defensive. Tell me more about these cards and the outcome and advice. Wow, 9 of Pentacles coming out. It's interesting where it fell in the overall energy on top of the 8 of Pentacles in reverse and near a lot of money. There's something about you look very independent, very accomplished at what you do, and you might be attracting people who don't want to put the work in, that don't want to put any effort in, and there might be a financial component that attracts people to your energy. If it's not financial, maybe you bring a lot of stability. Definitely emotional stability that I'm seeing, but maybe financial stability as well. It looks like once you let this need to have this fantasy, just let that end. The projecting onto someone else. It feels like it takes some time to shift and change that, but it helps you let your guard down, come out of fight or flight, and step into your stability. It feels like there's something here about attracting someone who's much more a fit, but not a fantasy, someone who's real, tangible, and it takes in the 3D. There's something about you might rush to conclusions. When you feel good around someone, your heart feels good, your emotions feel good, and you might rush very quickly to want to grasp on, hold on, instead of getting to know someone, taking the time it takes to see if they are that and if they're capable of matching what they say and the energy they bring and the feelings they bring. Fantastic. But go slowly, Pentacles, to see if they actually are that person. And that you're not projecting your unmet needs onto them. You're not needing them to be that person. You're just comfortable enough. I think there's something with the need, an emotional unmet need. And it feels like they recognize that unmet need, say they're that person, and then you just project onto them. So getting to know, letting that way of relating die down, die off, end. It almost seems like you rush to conclusions and then you really can't see. They hide in your blind spots and you start projecting who they are, who you want them to be. And over time, it feels like you lose your excitement for this relationship. There's no spark because it's not based in reality. It's fictional. It's a fantasy projected onto someone. Not to belabor this, but there's something here about kind of I'm seeing a story, kind of a pattern where someone sounds good, they feel good, and you rush. And not willing to look at the red flags because it just feels good and you're following the feeling. Feels like you're missing red flags. You stop going after what you want and start hooking your wagon to this person, this relationship. So you start ignoring your own intuitive hits. You stop going after what excites you, and it feels like you start focusing completely on this relationship. And at that point, it seems like the other person doesn't focus on you. They're not reciprocating that energy. In a way, it feels like they almost disappear. But then there's some type of dependency or wanting this person or feeling like at least I'm not alone, that type of beliefs that have you clinging to someone. It almost feels like you cling on to that fantasy and that projection until they do something mean or cruel enough that kind of wakes you out of that illusion for you to walk away. And then it feels like that pattern is something similar to that has been repeating until now. It looks like you're ready to transform that, release that pattern. So I hope that's helpful, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your likes and comments and supporting each other in the comment section. It's a really beautiful community here. So take care, Virgo. Have a great day.